What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Trend or Trap for Friday, July 3rd, 2026. I'm Dan Carbuck here for TrendsCenter, and we have three MLB games to talk about. In each game, I'm going to uncover a TrendsCenter trend, and then I'm going to decide whether it is a trend to tail or a trap to fade. So without further ado, let's get right into it with the Nationals versus the Pirates. Here is the trend from TrendsCenter. Since April 10th, the Nationals have gone 10-1 on the money line. That's 90.91% for 11.06 units of profit, with Foster Griffin starting in an over-under of 8 or higher. So after refining his game in Japan for a few years, Foster Griffin, who's 8-2 with a 2.93 ERA, returned to the U.S. and is giving the Nationals some solid production. I'm going to tail this and say that this is something that you should consider doing as well. You can get this at minus 127 over at Kalshi right now as the best price. Not only is the aforementioned 10-1 trend active for this matchup against the Pirates, but Griffin has been the most profitable starting pitcher to tail this season, leading Washington to a 13-4 record in his 17 starts. For reference, the Nats have gone 32-39 in all other games. Possessing an 83rd percentile pitching run value, Griffin's fastball does sit in the low 90s, but has been able to avoid free passes, limit hard contact, get hitters to chase pitches, and induce plenty of ground balls. The Pirates are substantially less dangerous at the plate on the road, and I feel comfortable backing Griffin to deliver another strong outing. Washington averages 5.38 runs per game at home, which makes them the second best offense in that setting, right behind the Pirates. And luckily, this game is taking place in Washington, D.C. Mitch Keller is going to pitch for the Pirates, and he has some troubling advanced profile items to discuss here. And he's 6-5 with a 4.87 ERA. He ranks in the 21st percentile of pitching run value, 7th percentile in XBA, 15th percentile in whiff percentage, 20th percentile in xERA, among others. I expect the Nats to do some damage against him and hang some crooked numbers in this spot, and I like Washington in this matchup. Heading into an NL East matchup between the Braves and the Mets in Atlanta. The Braves money line here is something that I'm going to be looking to target. Since April 12th, NL favorites have gone 20-1 on the money line. That's 95.24% for 18.85 units of profit against the Mets when the over-under has been above 7 runs. So you want to fade the Mets when they're underdogs against the National League. This is something we've been doing for weeks now. This is pretty much just an auto play for me every single day. So therefore, I'm going to say that this is a trend to tail. While Grant Holmes, who's 4-4 with a 3.96 ERA, probably won't pitch deep into the game for the Braves. I think that Atlanta's bullpen is the best in the sport, and they're going to support him after he comes out of the game. Ranking first in the NL East, I think the Braves hold a clear and obvious edge at home against the Mets, who are bottom dwellers in the division. The Mets, I would characterize them more as a dumpster fire at the moment. Losers of 10 of their last 12 games overall. They're an auto fade, especially with Christian Scott, who's 2-0 with a 3.20 ERA on the mound. He's not Nolan McLean, who's really the only starting pitcher on their roster who would give me pause in a situation like this. At minus 116 over at FanDuel, this price is pretty much unbeatable in my opinion, and this is one of the most valuable spots, I believe, all season long that I want to attack. So get this while you could still grab it at that price point. I think this is probably going to finish probably in the minus 135, minus 140 range for Atlanta before first pitch. Finally, heading into the Brewers at the Diamondbacks, here is an undefeated trend. Since May 30th, the Diamondbacks have gone 16-0-2 to the under. That's 100% for 16 units of profit following a loss. So they're coming off a loss here, and I'm going to just tail this. I don't like to ever fade perfect trends like this, so I'm going to ride the wave and say it continues. You can get this at plus 100 at DraftKings, so a great way to double your money here if this hits. So Kyle Harrison, he's 8-1 with a 2.57 ERA. He's going to be starting for the Brewers here. He's been awesome on the mound all season long, has an elite advanced profile across the board. Most notably ranking in the 95th percentile of fastball run value, 95th percentile breaking run value, 95th percentile of K percentage, 93rd percentage of pitching run value, 85th percentile of xERA, among other dominant metrics like hard hit percentage, chase percentage, whiff percentage. This will be the first time he faces the Diamondbacks this season, which is another positive sign given his revamped arsenal. This will be the third start for D-backs righty rookie Jose Cabrera, who's 0-1 with a 3.60 ERA. The 24-year-old had a 3.69 ERA, 1.03 whip in 12 starts across AA and AAA before getting called up due to injuries above him on the depth chart. He may not be fully ready for this level of play and only here because of those injuries, but he did stifle the Twins in 5 scoreless innings in his debut and only allowed 3 hits in that one. And then also, in the last outing, it was a little bit weird. The Rays did chase him in the 6th inning after they played some small ball with him. They had 2 bunt singles. He did make a couple mistakes down across the middle of the plate, got burned for a couple home runs, but he was really affected by those 2 bunt singles. Not many people play the style of ball that the Rays do. So if he could turn in another decent outing here, maybe gives up 2 or 3 runs, the under should be in play given Harrison's upside when he trots out on the hill. Let's double our money with the under here and let me know if you're going to tail me on this play or the 2 others on this slate. That's going to be it. Have a fantastic July 4th weekend. Hopefully your bets also hit. Let me know what you're tailing on this slate, and I'll be right back here on Monday with another episode of Trend or Trap.